Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining to the live demo session today. I'm Drishti, your host for the day. And today we'll be talking about how the education industry as a whole, that is, every element and every aspect of the education industry, can benefit from AI powered bots coupled with human assistance. So, before we dive in the webinar, a quick introduction of Engati. Engati is a customer experience platform powered by bots and live chat to reimagine customer journey across acquiring customers, engaging them, and also retaining them back. Engati has been empowering businesses in over 186 countries and across domains and use cases, including education. Engati has been recognized as a top platform by INC Tech World CIO and as the 2021 Cody Award winner for the best AI driven technology solution. So now that you know a bit about Engati and what it is actually doing, let's talk about how automation can help the education sector. So we all know that businesses have started using chatbots and live chat, and that's been for a while now, and they are using that to support their customers. And people have started seeing better conversion and engagement rates. And the best part about that is that they have to put lesser time and efforts today that they were doing previously when they were manually handling all these requests or all these processes. And now, what we are actually seeing is that administrations, educational institutes are also recognizing this cost effective and valuable way to keep their students and staff hooked and also streamline all the processes and get it all done more and more efficiently. So, what it can actually do is that the bot can help answering repetitive queries. You can always fall back on live chat for complex queries, and that can actually improve productivity across your staff, along with your students, teachers, internally, and even with parents or any other entities that you might have in the education sector as a whole. So, for example, when there are admissions going on, people might come and search for how they can come and visit, or if they cannot visit currently, how they can come and contact you, the list of candidates that have been selected, or the documents needed for the pre-admission process. And these are some of the queries that multiple people might ask, where the answer can be somewhat similar to what people are actually opting in for. Now, students who have already registered can ask about the courses offered, who the faculty would be, and what would be the timing for these courses. And the same case can be for parents or even internal school staff, and all such queries can be handled by the bot. And like I said, for complex queries, it can always be handed over to an agent, where the agent will have the context of the conversation with the bot that was going on, and they can jump in, reply back, resolve, and that would be like really quick and really efficient. So these are some of the benefits of automation and human assistance, which we say that people can see. But to shed more light on how universities are actually using out our solution, we have a special guest joining in today. So George Hanshaw is the director of e-learning at Los Angeles Pacific University. He has worked with organizations like the US Air Force, Purdue University, and many more, and has more than 30 years of experience. George is passionate about using technology to scale operations, bridging the gap, and building strong relationships. So, welcome, George, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for that great introduction, Drishti. Appreciate it. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Right. So, George, can you tell us a bit about Los Angeles Pacific University?
Yeah, at Los Angeles Pacific University, LAPU, we call it sometimes, we're a degree granting university and we're focused on working adults. So, adults who are coming back to school, not the traditional student coming out of high school, secondary school, and then trying to get their degree. So we focus on adults for bachelor, so graduate and undergraduate degrees that they can hopefully use to get start a new career, get a promotion, things like that. So we're super focused on engaging with them where they are and when they want to be engaged with. And that's why I'm glad to be here, because your bots help us do that.
That's great. So, when you say that it is making it easier, so firstly, what are the challenges that the university, the students, and the staff as a whole face these days?
Well, that's a great question because one of the biggest challenges is creating that connection, because we're 100% online and we're dispersed all over. And so that gives us a struggle of creating that connection. So we have to use technology to create connection between people. We can use technology to really connect with systems, but we also use it to connect with people. So we use the technology to make the mundane things, all the procedural stuff simple, but we also use it to help create that connection between people, because that's really what's important, between faculty and student, student to student, staff to staff to staff, staff to faculty, whoever we're in contact with. That's our overall goal, is to create that connection so they can build relationships, because we know the relationships are what really help the education. People really take it in and internalize anything that they're learning. It's all about that relationship. So that's why we use it. That's what we do with it.
Right. So, how does bot and live chat as a tool help in overcoming all these challenges which are coming?
Well, what's neat is people have an expectation. Bots are everywhere. Wherever you go, you may be even talking to a bot and not even know it. But it's really an expectation. And since we want people to be able to connect via their phone really simply and really easily, because that's what we're used to, it brings a sense of familiarity. And then once they've exhausted what they can get from the bot, going to a live person is a big deal, because they're going to need more than what can be offered. And that's that personal touch. So that's that connection. So they get all the basic information and questions and things answered, and then they can go to a person. So that's a big deal, to have that kind of hybrid approach as it works, because people don't want to get to a point where they're done with a bot, but then they don't know what to do. They need, might need further assistance. So that's huge in creating that connection and connecting everybody along the process, from the student who's not even sure they're going to attend university yet, all the way through to somebody who's already engaged and working towards a degree. So it's a big deal.
Right. Agreed. So, do you think omni-channel as a strategy can be helpful for organizations?
Yes. That's the simple answer, yes. And the reason why I say that is because we're talking about connecting with people, and we have to connect where they are. If we expect everybody to come to us, that's not really being proactive. Omni-channel, we need to be able to reach people where they are, because they're important. That's why. I mean, it comes down to that simple. Wherever you are, wherever people are, that's important. And it's important that we meet them and not just stand there as an organization waiting for everybody to come to us. As an organization, we want to be nimble. We want to reach out to the amazing students, current students, future students, where they are, when they are, and when they need it. That's the big thing. Yeah, so omni-channel is hugely important.
Absolutely. So, I think these are the questions that I had, and if there are questions from the audience, you can drop. And I guess there is one question there that how long have you been using Engati for?
We started using Engati almost 2 years ago, and the way that we started using Engati was really neat, because we used it within our classrooms to create interactive learning experiences, and it's been received really well. And because your bots are they're easy to customize. For us, I'm not even near a superstar on anything, but I was able to create engaging learning experiences where students are actually, they're typing in answers, they're engaging with the bot, and they're so used to doing it that we just flipped it to a learning experience. So it's been almost 2 years now, I believe. Yeah. So it's very cool the way it has kind of grown. And now that you have everything on the Omni channel, we can go anywhere. We don't have, when we started, we just had it plugged into our LMS for learning experiences. But now, as you know, we're looking at doing multiple other things because of the capabilities.
Right. The next question is, what is your favorite part about Engati?
Oh, well, obviously, I love the product because that's why I'm here. My favorite part is the way we're able to make learning experiences meaningful and engage people where they are. Whoops, can't see that because of my background, but I'm holding up my phone. Where they can just engage with it on the cell phone first, because that's what we do. We create learning experiences that are mobile first. And it fits right in because I can just take an Engati chatbot, and we have one where we talk about student finances, and they go through a project where they're actually making decisions and typing in their decisions in and getting feedback according to those decisions. We use it for multiple reasons. So my favorite, and I'm kind of a learning a nerd, they call me. I love all things learning. It's really fun to be able to make those interactive learning experiences with it. So that's my favorite part. Long story short, or short story long, whichever one.
Right. And I guess there's one more question, that how is it benefiting you and your organization currently?
Oh, it's benefiting us quite a bit because now, since I'm the director of e-learning operations, I'm going to talk mostly about the learning piece. And the reason why it's benefiting us is because it's helping create that connection with the student. One way that we use the bot within the classroom is you can type in discussion question week 1, boom, and it comes up, and it'll have either a short video. We always use a lot of GIFs to explain things that are happening. So it helps lower any confusion within the classroom, especially first-time students on 100% online might be a little bit nervous. So they have the bot right there. Click. What do I do? Week 1. What do I do? And it'll show them exactly what they have to do week 1, even though it's supported within the LMS, and they can click on a calendar. I've been noticing that they're very comfortable, even more comfortable, asking what to do with the bot and then getting it put right out there. We even embedded one of our Engati bots right within our RN to BSN, so one of our nursing programs that we have.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's the biggest thing that I see. It creates comfort, and when you create that comfort level, you get students to perform better because they don't have that cognitive load of worrying about what to do. They know what to do, and they interacted with it, so it's a little bit internalized more, so they're more comfortable. And when they do that, they simply perform better within the classroom. So student performance goes up.
I think that's the greatest thing that you can have currently when you are all remote, and yeah, it's actually bridging the gap.
Right. Oh, can I answer?
Yeah, yes, please.
The one, do you think chatbots can replace the classroom experience with the advent of online learning?
Yes.
Did you want to answer that? Did you
No,
want to give
please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to be a hog on you. Sorry. There's so many things, and chatbots are growing in amazing ways, but it's to complement the learning experience and the whole recruiting experience, everything else. It's there to complement and support, because the technology is amazing when it's used from a kind of a holistic perspective of how things operate. And it's amazing when it's used that way. So I don't see 100% overtake of that classroom experience, but I see it making that classroom experience even better. Because I've used the bots even when I've taught for other universities in live face-to-face sessions, and they're amazing. So, all right. So now that I stole your answer,
No, definitely. You are the better person to answer that because as a customer, you know how things are working on your end. I can just give a hypothetical answer. So yeah. I guess there's one more that you can answer. That what aspects of online education become faster with the usage of chatbots?
oh, what aspects of online education become faster with the usage of chatbots? If you have whenever you can create a chatbot that gives that interactive experience, the learning internalizes faster. So what do I mean by that? It's one thing to understand content and know something, right? If we know something, we're knowledgeable of it. But when you interact with it, like with a chatbot, you're able to internalize it and make it your own. And that means that you can use the content creatively now to solve, really big problems. So what happens faster is we're creating students who can creatively solve really complex issues in new and interesting ways. So from that perspective, that's faster. When they go out onto the job, into the world of business, they're better at what they do. Inside the classroom, they're able to perform better. In other words, they're able to apply what they're learning better and faster than just gaining the knowledge piece. Because the chatbot forces that engagement, it forces me to interact. And when I interact and put my hands on the keyboard or my thumb on there and interact, I internalize the content and I'm simply able to use it better, more efficiently. And that happens a lot quicker with the bots.
Right. What we'll actually do is that there's still many questions that are coming in. These questions I think can be answered better when I'm showing you everybody here the demo. So if that's okay, I think these questions would be better answered with the demo. So what I'll actually do is that we'll proceed with that. And before that, thank you, George. Thank you so much for sharing all these insights. And I think our audience has also benefited from what you have shared. And they would be now more interested on the usage part of it, because when a customer says that the product is actually going great, I think that's pretty helpful. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. I look forward to your demo. I always learn something, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it, whatever I learned today. Thank you again.
Thank you. So what I'll do is currently I'll just go ahead and share my screen, and I'll be showing a demo of how the basic bot can be. Keeping in mind that the bot is customizable according to the use cases that you have. And let's begin. So I hope my screen is visible right now. And what I have done is that this is the part where I'm showing the web bot experience. And to keep in mind that this experience would be replicable across channels wherever you would be adding or deploying or integrating the bot with. So that would be the similar experience across that you'll have. This is the landing page that I've created, the demo landing page, which would be similar to the landing page that you would have for your college or university or any educational institute as such. And the bot would be available right here. You can have a pop-up messages coming in that can help or that can greet the user who is coming. And then you can have the user engage with the bot at first. So this is what the bot would look like this is what we call as a launch screen, and this is the first thing that somebody who is coming for the bot for the first time would be able to see. So here you can add the name of the university and you can add the toast messages as you would like. And this is the options that they can begin with, that if they want to get started or they directly want to go for admissions or directly want to contact. As I said previously, this can be customizable. So if you do not have the admission season going on right now, so maybe you can change this option to something else and the user can proceed accordingly. So I'll click on get started, and as you can see, it will tell me that welcome to the university. You can add images, and like George was also mentioning, it can be interactive as you want. So you can use videos or you can use GIFs, and any way you can make the bot interactive, you can go ahead and do that. So the bot will send a greeting message, and these are the options that you can send to the users. Again, depending upon what use case you are currently trying to solve with the bot. So suppose there are admissions going in, and I, as a student, want to apply for the admission. So what the bot can do is that they can collect some basic details, saying that my name is Drishti and I have this email ID and also the phone number. So any of these can be optional according to what you think is currently required. And here you can have the courses as a list. So here I'm selecting the course. So what is actually happening is that the bot is collecting all this information from the user, and this you can send it over to your administration as an email, or what you can do is that you can store it in a CRM that you are using currently. So what I have configured is the Salesforce CRM, and as you can see that this contact has been added, like Drishti and my email ID. So this can be added in your CRM as well, or even with Google Sheets, you can add it to a Google Sheet if you would like, or any other integrations on top of it. All these things can be customized according to what your use cases and what systems that you're currently using with. So this is one of the user journeys that we have added for you, and this can be scaled accordingly. So even if somebody is not coming in for admissions, but there are other enrollments that you are doing as part of the educational institute that you have, such journeys can be replicated and can be configured according to your needs, right? And let's go ahead and I can type menu because I want to go back. So some of the FAQs are something that you can use right now, and it can help you, have the engaging conversation coming in. Either you can type that, or you can go back and see the menu as well. So now suppose I want to go ahead and browse the courses that I have. So it's telling me that there are a wide variety of courses, and you can type I want to know about this particular course. So I just type I want to know about it. So what actually the bot can do is that it can pull information from the documents that you would add. So generally with the educational institutes, the documents which are there is the courses that the university is offering currently, or even privacy policies or admission procedures. These type of queries, or these are the type of documents which are there, which you want to train the bot for, but you don't want to have it in a Q&A format. So the bot can make that easier for you, because you can directly have the policies added, and the bot will itself find from that and get back, or send the answer accordingly. And suppose if you want to see the rest of the courses which are there, so you can view the whole document, and you'll be able to see what other courses which are offered. And this is the same experience accord for the other documents also that you'll be adding. And here it will highlight the part that it is actually showing me as the answer. And here I'll be able to see what other courses the university is offering, without having to navigate through the whole website to find out on how and where I can get this information from. And similarly, suppose I type entrance tests, so it will pick up from the admission policy that is there, that all students are required to take a written entrance test or something like that. And then you can have a flow coming in, that if somebody wants to apply for an entrance test or not. So all these things can be configured according to what your requirements would be. Similarly, if somebody is asking for, say, admission procedure, right? So that can be added. So this is one of the features that Engati provides, which can reduce efforts on both the student and the end user end. Okay, and now what we have is that you have seen how people can apply for admissions. You can see how people can, browse through courses. Similarly, the journey can be for your parents, where parents are trying to enroll their students who are trying to join the universities. There can also be a part of alumni, where an alumni is reaching out and they want to know about, maybe some certificates that they want, or transcripts that they want when they are going for higher studies. These are some of the queries that people generally ask, and that can all be configured and customized according to your needs. Now, the part where there are complex queries or there is urgent help needed, and that is not something the bot can always help with, and that is where the human assistance part comes in. So, say I type, I need urgent help. So, and it can send me the details also. And what I can actually do is that I can have a live chat request triggered for myself. So where it is telling me that thank you for your request, an agent will attend to you. And here on the Engati side, this is what we call as a one view inbox. So here is something that all the new requests will come in, and the agents can pick up these conversations and start replying to users, and they can have a conversation in real time. um, I think generally with universities currently what happens is via an email, or they really have to in person go and do that. Emails can be a bit annoying, where there's a lot of back and forth going and there is urgent help needed, and you cannot expect people to get back to you on email as like just in a few seconds. But the bot and live chat can enable you to do that. So say I'll just start the conversation. So here the user can actually see that Drishti has joined the conversation, that is the agent name has joined, and then you can just type the queries. And the best part about this is that the agent already has a context of what the user and the bot were talking about, and that's where the process becomes much more easier, because now the user does not have to repeat the queries that they were already talking to the bot with. Agent has a context and they can reply accordingly. There are quick replies available. You can configure quick replies according to what you think would be necessary. And this is how the agent and the end user can have a conversation that I need help with admission fees or whatever the query is. And this can happen, the whole conversation can happen in real time. And with the messages coming in, there is also sound notification that comes, so that the agent knows that this is what the conversation is and this is where they have to talk to. And keeping in mind that all the conversations that are coming in, those inbound conversations would be all listed here, and the agent can pick up and talk to multiple people at the same time, which is not generally the case when you are doing it on emails or on phone calls. So this is where resolution helps. You are talking to multiple people. The bot is talking to much more people than you are, and that is how processes get more and more streamlined, right? And here you can talk back to them. You can also search from the smart responses that you have added. You can send images. You can also send documents to say there is a form that they have to fill and they have to send it to you. So you can attach those documents and you can send it back. And to make the conversations just more interactive, you can also send emojis. Now, on the agent end or at the university administration end, what is actually a good part is that you see that the name and the email and everything here. You can also see the time zone, and you can see what extra that they were trying to have a conversation as. So you can also see the phone number which is there. So all these details are there with the agents, and that's what helps them get a quicker resolution done. So suppose somebody is asking that I need to check this record with the system that you have, and maybe the bot is not able to find that, and if the agent is doing so, the agent does not have to ask what your name is, what your email ID is. this is something that the bot has already asked, it can pick up, fetch that and get back to the user. So that can be done. And here is something where people can write notes about this particular person that needed help with fees, so that some other agent or even with the administrator who will be seeing all these conversations, they'll be able to see that okay, these are the notes, and this was the query that the user actually had. So this is the one view inbox which is available. And once you are done with the conversation, you can actually go ahead and resolve. So that means that from the agent end, the conversation has been answered, and when the user will reply back, the bot will be answering the questions now. So it's a very seamless bot to agent handoff that happens here. So that is about the whole conversation with the bot and live chat which is there. Apart from this, you will be able to see all the users who are coming in and interacting with the bot, and also with the channels that would be there. So you will be able to see all that. You can segment users, you can import, or you can also export. You can export the user list which is there along with all these details. And like I said, you can always go ahead and interact with your, integrate with your CRM or with your Google Sheets required. And apart from the integrations which I mentioned, we also provide ticketing integrations, and we also have integrations with Google Analytics. Now, Google Analytics integration will help you see on how the user is having the conversation with the bot, what are the most asked queries that the user is having, and what are the journeys which are working on the most, and what are the most asked queries. These are some of the analytics that the Google Analytics whole dashboard can provide, and it can also provide users according to channels and all those in much more detail. So you can also go ahead and configure your Google Analytics. You can use Google Calendar to have appointment scheduling done for you, and Salesforce, like I said, and any other CRMs also that you would want to use. So these are the integrations that Engati provides extensively. Coming to the analytics side, so there is granular analytics that is available, at least for you to understand on what and how the bot is performing. So you'll be able to see how many active users are there, the interactions that are coming in, what are the most frequent messages. Even here you'll be able to see. You can also see how the bot is performing with the questions asked. So here you can see that questions asked were 17 but answered were 14. So that means that there were 3 questions that bot was unable to answer at that time. So you can go ahead and train these queries if required. And you can also see the live chat summary. So to see how the agent on your end is performing, you can have the live chat summary. You can check that, and you can also set up SLAs according to what your needs would be. And similarly, you can see for agents, you can see for channels that you have configured, and the whole conversation overview as well. So this is all from the Engati end. And if there are, I see there are questions. So if there are any more questions that you have, please drop them in the Q&A and I'll be more than happy to answer. Are there any issues with the accessibility of Engati? Can a screen reader or immersive reader access the bot? Accessibility, I don't think that's an issue at all, but I think I'll need some more details on what this actually means. The bot is available on you can deploy the bot on any social channels or your website, and as long as the website is visible to the end user, the bot will also be visible to the end user. So if you can elaborate on what you actually mean on that, Lisa, so I will be able to help with that. Other than as a service type tool, how is it used? So like George was mentioning that these are the service type queries would be something for the parents or the students who are coming in. When you want to get enrollments for admissions, or if you are having an event or any other such activities that are going on, you can get those details and it can act as a lead generation tool for you. Apart from that, you can also have e-learning as a use case where you can have quizzes conducted, and these are the flows that can be customized, but definitely it can be used apart from that. So outside the classroom, also in the classroom, everywhere bots can be used as in how you would like. I hope that answers your question. Can we use chatbots to conduct exams? Definitely, you can use it. So, where there are very objective type of questions, the bot can do the calculations. It can provide options, and it can also calculate percentages and also send it to the user, send it to the teacher, and also update it on a Google Sheet or any other system that you're using. So, exams can also be conducted um, via chatbots. Yeah. What makes this bot specific to education rather than other bot services? Okay, so what we actually are giving is that when you have an education use case, we are giving a very ready template to you. There's a very minimal to less work that you have to do on the bot end. All you have to do is just take that template and make the changes. If you want Engati to do the changes, we can also make these customizations for you, and you will have a bot ready and live within no time. And that's why I think this particular template would be much more effective rather than having to build it from scratch. We provide both the options on the platform on how better it is for you to proceed. But I guess with the template, it just becomes easier when all you have to do is just do a few edits on the name and the theme. Does it feature an approximate wait time for users? Yes. So what you can do is that while it is coming for a live chat, there is a setting which is done where you can configure the live chat. I'll just show that. So you can firstly configure work hours for all your agents. So if they are working for this, and if you have day-wise work hours, you can go ahead and do that as well. And you can also set up holidays and your work week here. Now these are the chat settings. So even if you want to request feedback on resolution, once I've resolved a conversation, if you want to ask that, you can go ahead and do that. Here is the maximum wait time that you can set up. So maximum wait time for the website, if you want to set up as 30 seconds or up to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you can go ahead and do it. So I hope that answers your question, Kamika. Does it integrate with AWS Amplitude as well as Google Analytics? AWS Amplitude, I think we can integrate, like the platform is flexible, but we need to understand the whole use case and what exactly needs to be integrated, like what part of the platform you need as an integration with that. Google Analytics, like I said, we do integrate with Google Analytics. So yeah. I hope that has answered your question. And actually, for AWS Amplitude, it would be better if the product, somebody from our product team would be there, so they can understand your whole requirement and they can actually tell you on how this thing would work better. So, yeah. Okay. Can I know if some FAQs are not used? I will just try and show one analytics dashboard that we actually have. So with analytics, what happens is that you will be able to see the most used ones, and you'll also be able to see on what queries are answered via the document versus what queries are answered via the FAQs that you've added. So it works in these particular ways. So yeah, that is the part. We'll wait for this Google Analytics to load. Till then, I'll just take up other questions. Can I know if some FAQs are not okay? Yeah. Do messages from WhatsApp appear in Telegram? No, they would like. No, they would not appear. I really didn't understand this question. The messages that are coming in one channel would remain in that channel. However, what we have something is something called as stitching. So what happens is that if the same user is coming from multiple platforms, say I as Drishti came in from Messenger, I came in from website, I came from WhatsApp, I came from Telegram. And what the platform can do is that they can stitch these conversations and make it under one user, saying that this user currently has the same email ID or has the same phone number. So the bot can recognize that as the same user, and that is how the bot can tell that, okay, um, this is the same person who has been coming in, so that the agent can have context for that. Now I'll just put the filter for the date. Yeah, I guess I have answered all the questions. Just with the analytics, I will do that too. So let's see for October. October to 21st October. So here, as you will be able to see, these are the queries that is coming from FAQ. These are answered. These are answered from the document part. You can also set up custom events accordingly, so you can know that how many people actually enrolled and went ahead with the admission process and how many just came in. Here you can see the division by user, channel wise users. You can have a pie chart, and you can also see how many live chats were triggered. So you can see the number of users came in were 12, but total live chat triggered was 6. So maybe you need to work more on the FAQ end, or you need to train the bot better, where more and more queries can be answered by the bot and lesser by the agent. So this is all the analytics that you can see, and it can be configured to see on the source URL. So if you are running some campaigns, you'll be able to see that. Here is the number of FAQs triggered. So here, if you can see, there are 28. Well, with return items, it's just one. So it can go to a limit, and you'll be able to see what FAQs are actually working out or not. And similarly with buttons also, you can see. So yeah, this is for a separate bot which is there, but just to give an idea of how the Google Analytics integration could work. I hope that helps you with the answer. Right, I think this is all we have. Yeah, I did not understand of live captions. Is it about this webinar that you were talking about, or maybe on the bot side? I was not very sure, Kamika. I'm sorry. But I hope other questions I was able to answer completely. If there are any other questions, or if you want to get a hands-on on how the bot works, you can reach out to us at contact@Engati, and our experts will be in touch with you. And like I said, any other customizations that you need, or Benjamin, that you were asking about on whether we can integrate with such systems or not. So it will be better if we can, connect, and we can answer all your questions personally, depending on how you want the bot to be structured. I hope this session was helpful to everybody here. Thank you so much for joining in and for taking out time. If Like I said, if there are any questions, you can reach out to us at contact@Engati. We have extensive documentation. You guys can actually go out and try out the platform that we have. It's engati.com. So you can go ahead and register and try out the platform yourself. It's a self-serve platform. And if there are any questions, I'm dropping the link in here for everybody to check it out. So you can go ahead and register on the platform right here. And yeah, so we'll see how, if there are any questions, please reach out. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a great day. Or we will, yeah, sure. If needed, we can send out the recording of the meeting as well, Daniel. Hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.